wanted to create art that blended both Islam and Hispanic culture because I am a convert to Islam. I embraced Islam 4 years ago. We're going to get to printing cards, but I wanted to share this first. This is my printing press. Since I became a printmaker, I had my eyes on something like this. This is a Woodzilla press. Of course, it's not sponsored, but I would love to be one day, inshallah. I'm not even sure if they do that kind of thing, but printmakers love this particular printing press for a reason. It is so quality and cute that all the colors are cute that it comes in, and alhamdulillah, I finally got to get my first one, and it's the perfect size for printing greeting cards. So it makes the process a lot faster. It applies the stamp a lot more effectively and smoothly, and I think I get a really nice impression out of it. Otherwise, I would be pushing down the stamp myself, and that takes a while. So this saves me a lot of labor as well. I thought while I printed cards, I can tell you a little bit more about my business, inshallah. First, we're going to mix the ink, and I'm thinking like a pink type of vibe since Eid al-Adha falls around Memorial Day weekend, or it might, somewhere around there. So I want to do something kind of summery. So we'll see how it turns out. It may not turn out as I imagined, but either way, I think it's going to be cute. These inks were definitely another investment. I would see printmakers use them all the time. They're Cranfield Calico Safe Wash inks, so you have the benefit of having like an oil-based ink, which lasts for a long time. They print so bright, but they're washable, so I can wash this glass with water and my rollers with water, and it makes cleanup a lot easier. So I was thinking like a baby pink in the background. I have this stamp block here, which is just a plain one. I didn't carve anything but to the shape of the greeting card. So that way, when I'm printing on cream cards, the background doesn't always have to be cream. It can be whatever color I want it to be. So we'll see how this turns out first. Yeah, I definitely think I want a lot more white. For me, thinking of a system that's gonna work best for like workflow is really hard. So I have like my inking station here, the block, and the press here. And then I'm thinking, trying to take out some cards to make it easier. We will try this and see if it works. So this is just like a plain piece of paper so I don't get the wood underneath dirty. This is kind of the pink I did for my Con Matcha Amor card. I wanted to create art that blended both Islam and Hispanic culture because I am a convert to Islam. I embraced Islam 4 years ago, and I didn't really see much out there that did that. So I wanted to just create art for other Latina converts like myself who are just trying to navigate this journey. Now I feel like Hispanics or Latinos are basically a dime a dozen. Every other Muslim convert that you meet, I feel, is Latino or Hispanic. And that's because I think there was a huge wave in the 90s, and even now more and more are converting to Islam. So I just think it's important to have some representation out there in Latino culture, especially in Mexican culture, which my background, I am a Mexican American, and we love art. We love all types of art. And printmaking is very closely tied to the Chicano movement in the civil rights era. It was a cheap way to make art that spoke out against social injustice. So personally, printmaking has a lot of roots for me, and I just want to blend the two together now. I think a lot of the times as converts, we feel like we have to give up our culture in the beginning, and it's hard because we are kind of finding ourselves again in this new journey of our new relationship with God. We're trying to navigate it, and it's not always the easiest. We have a lot of social pressures and things like that. In some ways, it feels really natural to be Muslim. Like so many things we were raised with as far as our values really align with the message of Islam, like being kind to others, charitable, feeding others. But then there are some things that don't feel quite as natural, like maybe dressing modestly for some of us, or trying to change the recipe of certain foods and find it like a halal version of them. So in my art shop, I just want people to feel like they belong and that Islam is for everybody. And that's why I try to create art that speaks to both being Muslim and being Latina. I always say that Islam beautifies culture, and I didn't just make that up. Like, that's something that is very well known in Islam, and it's something that we should continue to embrace. So here is the base of one card. It literally turned out the same kind of pink as my Con Mancha Amor card. But I'm okay with that. I must love this pink. Subconsciously, I probably blended the same pink. So I did a lot of yapping in one card. We'll try to get the rest of these done, inshallah. So the baby woke up for a nap, but I don't want my printing session to end because I only did 4 cards, and I would like to do more ideally. SubhanAllah, as like a mom, you just have to get things done fast or it's not going to get done. So we did a diaper change, got the baby on the high chair, having lunch, and we will print as much as we can and get everything cleaned up before they're done eating. The thing that makes printmaking hard as a mom is that when you're in the middle of a printing session, there's a lot of anxiety that the inks are going to dry up while you leave to go do another task. So oil-based inks typically don't dry up as fast as acrylic, and that's why I was really wanting to only use oil-based ink. But then also they're so messy, and you need other kinds of solutions, usually toxic types of solutions, to clean them up afterwards, and it's a really big mess. I still have to bite the bullet with it sometimes because there are certain inks that I've grown attached to that aren't Calico, so they're traditional oil-based inks that I can't wash off with water. There's a pastel line of inks that I really want to get from Calico, but I have to just use what I have so far because I have a lot of other business expenses that I need to keep in mind. Hopefully this is entertaining for the baby to watch while they eat. They're just smiling at me. Yeah. Bismillah. Nina. Sabra. Sabra. y se cierra. This is heated up coffee from like 4 hours ago. And if you're a mom, it's so important to stay hydrated. I've added cucumbers and mint to my water recently and some salt. Ugh.
الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا.
This morning is much smoother than yesterday. After that epic coffee spill, I was not going to carve. I just felt like if I started carving, I would make too many mistakes. Alhamdulillah, there was a lot of other things that I could do, but I'm excited to get started carving on my Feliz Eid Amiga stamp. I actually got prescribed recently some glasses they're called hobby glasses. They're for seeing up close. So I'm gonna try these out and see if it helps. Overall, I'm just really proud of myself for the fact that I actually finished something. It's really hard to make a goal and to reach it when you're a first-time mom. I think when the babies are so small, like less than 2 years, it can be really challenging because they really need you. Alhamdulillah, I just made so much dua and I asked Allah for help through the whole thing, and of course always making istikhara, like if this is the best thing for my deen, dunya and akhirah, then may Allah facilitate it with ease and bless me through it. But if it has bad consequences for my deen, dunya and akhirah, that Allah takes it away from me and me away from it and makes me content with that and replaces it with something better. I attend a halaqah weekly, and the ustadha is teaching about Surah Al-Kahf right now. And we were going over the story of the two men who have gardens each, and one of them was boasting about what they have, and the other one was saying to be careful about that. And she was reminding us to say, MashaAllah, wa quwwata illa billah, and so I'm trying to remind myself of that as well, of course, whenever I'm reminding myself that it was a milestone that I only reached by Allah's will. So if you're interested in seeing my online shop, the link is in the description. And I hope to make a lot more content like I did this week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.